Imagine a man whose character was so pure, so modest, so noble, that the very angels of heaven were shy in his presence. Imagine a man who, despite being one of the wealthiest individuals in his time, lived in humility, gave in charity, and wept at the sight of a grave. Imagine a man so beloved by the Prophet Muhammad that he married not one, but two of his daughters, earning the unique title, the possessor of two lights, Dhul Nurain. He was a man who financed armies, purchased wells, and fed the hungry, yet never let his wealth touch his heart. He ruled as Caliph during a time of expansion, but met his end in silence, fasting, and reciting the Quran, his blood soaking its sacred pages. This is not just a historical figure. This is Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, a man of honor, of faith, and of legacy. His story is not one of mere wealth or power, but one of dignity, sacrifice, and divine love. Let us journey through his extraordinary life. From the fragrant alleys of Mecca to the throne of the Caliphate, and ultimately, to martyrdom in the path of Allah. Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, was one of the most distinguished companions of the Prophet Muhammad. He was the third Caliph of Islam, one of the 10 promised paradise, al-Ashara al-Mubashirun, the son-in-law of the Prophet, and the first to compile the Quran into one mushaf. Despite his immense wealth, Uthman was known for his deep humility, modesty, and tremendous generosity. He lived a life of service to Islam, and his character was so pure and modest that even the angels of Allah felt shy in his presence. His early life and acceptance of Islam. Uthman was born into the wealthy and noble Umayyad clan of the Quraysh tribe in Mecca, 6 years after the year of the elephant. Before Islam, he was already known for his truthfulness, purity, and honor. He never worshipped idols, never drank alcohol, and lived a clean life in a society filled with immorality. When Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, R.A., invited him to Islam, he accepted immediately, making him one of the first converts. Evidence. Ibn Sa'd narrated in Tabaqat al-Kubra that Uthman said, "By Allah, as soon as Islam was presented to me, I accepted it. I did not delay for even a moment." The Prophet once said, "O Allah, I am pleased with Uthman, so be pleased with him." Reported by At-Tirmidhi, Hassan Garib. Marriage to two daughters of the Prophet, the possessor of two lights, Dhul Nurain. Uthman is the only man in history to have married two daughters of a Prophet, one after the other, hence he was given the title Dhul Nurain, the possessor of two lights. First, he married Ruqayya, the daughter of the Prophet. They migrated together to Abyssinia, then to Medina. After her death, the Prophet married him to his other daughter, Kulthum. Evidence. The Prophet said, "If I had a third daughter, I would marry her to Uthman." Al-Hakim, Mustadrak, Sahih. His extraordinary modesty, even the angels were shy of him. Uthman was known for his exceptional modesty, haya, a virtue highly praised in Islam. He was so modest that even the angels of Allah were shy of him. Famous hadith. Narrated by Aisha, R.A. One day, the Prophet was lying down in my house with his thigh or shin uncovered. Abu Bakr asked for permission to enter, and he was admitted while the Prophet was in that state, and he did not change his posture. Then Umar asked for permission and was admitted, and he remained as he was. Then Uthman asked for permission, so the Prophet sat up and adjusted his clothes. When they left, I said, "O Messenger of Allah, Abu Bakr and Umar entered, and you did not change your state, but when Uthman came in, you sat up and covered yourself." The Prophet replied, "Should I not be shy of a man of whom the angels are shy?" Sahih Muslim, Hadith 2401. This hadith shows the immense spiritual status and purity of Uthman ibn Affan, not only among humans but even in the unseen world. His wealth and generosity in the path of Allah. Uthman was one of the wealthiest men in Mecca, a successful merchant who made his fortune through honest trade. Yet, he was one of the most generous companions, constantly spending in the path of Allah. 1. The Well of Ruma. In Medina, clean water was scarce. A Jewish man owned the well of Ruma and would sell the water at high prices. The Prophet said, "Whoever buys the well of Ruma and makes it free for the Muslims, he will have a better reward in paradise." At-Tirmidhi, Hassan. Uthman bought the well for 20,000 dirhams and made it free for the Muslims, making it a waqf, charitable endowment. 2. Funding the army of Tabuk, the army of difficulty. During the expedition of Tabuk, the Muslim army was severely under-resourced. The Prophet called upon the companions to contribute. Narrated by Abdul Rahman ibn Khabab. I saw the messenger of Allah urging the people to give charity. Uthman stood and said, O messenger of Allah, I pledge 100 camels with saddles and supplies in the path of Allah. Then he stood again and said, I pledge 200 camels, and then said, I pledge 300 camels. The Prophet responded, Nothing Uthman does after this will harm him. At-Tirmidhi, Sahih. Imagine this, Uthman single-handedly funded an army, in today's value, millions of dollars, all for the sake of Allah. His simple life and deep fear of the hereafter. Despite his wealth, Uthman lived simply. He dressed humbly, ate basic food, and slept on the ground like the poor. He once said, By Allah, I have not bought anything with the money of the Muslims, nor have I eaten from their wealth, nor have I taken from the treasury for my own use. His weeping at the grave. When he would visit graves, he would cry until his beard became soaked. When asked why he cried more at the grave than he did when hearing about paradise or hell, he replied, I heard the messenger of Allah say, the grave is the first station of the hereafter. Whoever is saved from it, what follows will be easier. But if he is not saved, what follows will be worse. At-Tirmidhi, Hassan Garib. His status with the Prophet. The Prophet loved Uthman deeply and praised him in many gatherings. He once said, The most modest person of my nation is Uthman. Tirmidhi. Another narration states, Every prophet has a companion in paradise, and my companion there is Uthman. Tirmidhi, Tabarani, authentic. His martyrdom, a death of dignity and sacrifice. In the latter part of his caliphate, hypocrites and rebels stirred sedition and besieged his house in Medina. Despite his authority, Uthman refused to shed Muslim blood, even if they were unjust. He said, I will not be the one who opens the door to civil war among Muslims. He was over 80 years old, fasting, and reciting the Quran when they attacked and murdered him unjustly. His blood spilled upon the pages of the Quran he was reciting, specifically, the verse, So Allah will suffice you against them. And He is the hearing, the knowing. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:137. His wife, Naila, tried to defend him, and one of her fingers was cut in the process. Conclusion. Uthman ibn Affan, R.A., was a man of unparalleled generosity, gentleness, and modesty. His life is a testament that wealth, when used righteously, can be a tool for immense good and eternal reward. He lived as a pious servant of Allah, died a martyr, and earned the eternal honor of being one from whom even the angels felt shy. May Allah be pleased with Uthman, reward him on behalf of the Ummah, and grant us the ability to follow in his noble footsteps. A life of faith, humility, and sacrifice, a man who lived for Allah and died reciting his words. May his legacy live on in our hearts, and may we strive to follow his noble footsteps. If this story moved your heart, subscribe to the channel for more inspiring tales from the lives of the Sahaba. Turn on the notification bell, so you never miss a moment of wisdom, and don't forget to share this video. Let the reward multiply as others learn and benefit. Together, we revive the light of the early generations. Until next time, peace be upon you, and may Allah's mercy and blessings be with you.